Please leave a message after the
Whoopi Goldberg, again, I'll say this for the record, it would be nice to have a female perspective on this. Send in a voicemail, voicemail.com, and then, or go to mess.voicemail.com, and that just takes you straight to the message section. Anyway, Whoopi Goldberg is getting a lot of flack this week because there's this female influencer. I can't remember, is it, her name's Bella something. I'm going to play a clip and it will just clear this whole thing up, but this young lady, influencer, she came out on social media to say that someone's threatening her to leak her nudes. She took nudes on her phone. Someone's threatening her, and that she wrestled with it, but she wants to take the power away from the guy and release the nudes herself, which she did.
Okay.
So, very big controversy. A lot of people were like, wow, you took the power from the guy. You shouldn't be ashamed. Celebrate your body. Don't let this guy take you for ransom. But then people were kind of skeptical. Why? Because she has a book coming out. So people are like, this bitch is just doing this for promo. This is obviously just a ploy. Nobody cares about news, but she's going to make herself like a hero in front of the people, get ahead of it, but then she's getting all this, it's like a publicity stunt just to sell her books. Anyway, so on The View, Whoopi Goldberg came out and she basically said, which again, she could have picked her words a bit more carefully, but she's basically said, and I'm going to play the clip, that any woman who take pictures of herself on the phone is kind of asking for it. Is in this day and age, and let me preface that, in this day and age, it's too risky, and you're just making it. She kind of, let me just play the goddamn clip, and then I'll make her speak for herself.
Yeah, because you keep saying, play the clip. I'm like, okay, we'll get to it.
I just want to paint you the whole picture because the clip doesn't do a good job of explaining it well. That's why I explained it before I played it. So I'll play the clip now, and then you'll hear everything. So that was the long version.
Whoopi Goldberg is being blasted by actress Bella Thorne.
Shame on you, Whoopi.
It started when the 21-year-old former Disney Channel star said a hacker somehow obtained intimate images of her and was threatening to make them public. So Bella posted them herself on her Twitter page, telling the hacker, "I took my power back."
Actress Bella Thorne's phone was recently hacked.
On The View, Whoopi suggested Bella should have known better.
If you're famous, I don't care how old you are, you don't take nude pictures of yourself.
In response, Bella tweeted a tearful video accusing Whoopi of victim blaming.
Shame on you, Whoopi. Shame on you. And shame on you for putting that public opinion just out there like that for every young girl to think that they're disgusting for even taking a photo like that.
Okay, that's the clip. You know what? Thoughts? I'll let you go. What's your thoughts on this first?
I got a handful. The first thing is I hate people who blame victims, and I feel like Whoopi Goldberg was not blaming the victim. Let me just put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
When you are talking, like, I've been listening to the news more and more when I'm in the car. I'm not from the point of my life of like 5 or 6 years ago, okay? Because I used to commute. Like, God, I want to say sometimes I'd be stuck in traffic for like an hour. So yeah, I started listening to the news. And I watched how all the big companies kept getting hacked. Everybody kept getting hacked. They're still getting hacked, by the way. They just don't report it because by law, they don't have to report it. So they're probably getting hacked way more than you fucking think they are. They're just not reporting it.
Yeah.
But just put that in perspective. And you are putting something you don't want people to be able to get on your phone, which stores stuff on the cloud, and both of these systems of storage have been proven over and over again to not be secure. Okay, now understand Whoopi didn't say don't take nude pictures of yourself or anything like that. I mean, my impression is if you really want to do that kind of thing and you're not cool with your nudes getting out, use a digital camera or something that's not connected to the fucking internet. I mean, like, or use like a hard drive, an external hard drive. Don't fucking take pictures on your phone and then be like, oh no, I got hacked. I never saw that coming, because it only happens to everybody, especially if you're a celebrity. So in that regard, I think Whoopi Goldberg was actually on point, and I think the lady, while she is, I believe she's a victim, because people are fucking obsessed with celebrities, and they are the ones who get hacked the most, more than anything. So I do think that actually happened to her, but I just think she reacted because she is the victim the wrong way.
Okay.
That being said, like nobody's wrong. Is my point, but it's just like people don't have common sense. Like, dude, like Whoopi Goldberg was trying to say, like, don't fucking use that tool specifically to do that thing, and she just fucking freaked out. And it's fine that she freaked out because this is gonna surprise you, but a lot of ladies actually like me, like the way I look and everything. So like when I was dating and stuff, especially online dating, sometimes I'd be asked for my dick pic. Like I wouldn't just give it to them and force it on them. They would actually ask me at some point. And I was always very hesitant about doing this because, it's just everything gets out.
Sure.
I was at a point where I'd never taken any of those kind of pictures, never done any of those kind of movies on my phone or anything because I didn't want it getting out. But I got to the point where it's like, this is who I am. I don't give a shit. And I was okay with it at that point. So like, once you're okay with it, then yeah, go for it. If you're not, there are other more secure ways of going about making yourself feel beautiful and having the memory of it where you don't have to be connected to the internet. I think that was the point what he was trying to make.
Yeah.
So
let me interject
that's my
here.
general thoughts.
Let me interject here just because I know that people feel like Whoopi was condescending and she was coming from a point of paranoia. And that's not a bad place to come from after the fappening. The fappening was that big time when all of the celebrities got hacked. So I understand Whoopi having that kind of overblown reaction of just don't even bother. And I do, if you listen to what she said, she has a much more paranoid reactionary opinion of don't even bother. I honestly don't think she was saying you don't have the right to take your own news. Anyone can do what they want. And if she does, then she's wrong for that because you can do whatever you want. But with today's technology and with the constant hacking, I think you should do that thing. You should know in your mind that the way digital security is today and the way you're getting hacked, there's a good chance no matter what Apple says, no matter what Google says, no matter what any cloud provider says, you can get hacked. It happens all the time. So knowing that, I understand. And to be honest, Whoopi Goldberg's she's old school. So I don't blame an older generation being like, you're going to get, because it's something my parents will say. Now on the flip side, let me go on Bella's side. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I shouldn't feel constrained. I'm a free person. It's a free country. My tech should work for me. These companies promise me something. I shouldn't be beholden to anyone's opinion. If I want to take pictures on my phone, it's my right. And if someone infringes on my privacy, that's their criminals. They violated me. I agree with all of that. My stance on it is very simple. Like I said, if you look at the security of this, nothing she said is wrong. Whoopi Goldberg has an opinion, right? And whether you like her opinion or not, that's just her opinion. Putting the girl on blast and having an opinion, I think she could have done it. She didn't really think, she could have worded it in a much more sensitive way. And I think she really should have, because as a female, it just comes a bit like she's on a bit of a high horse. But I see where she's coming from. I think she's just being a bit protective. And I don't really think she was saying you don't have the right to take pictures of yourself. She said you shouldn't, but I think that comes from a place of paranoia and prevention. As for Bella, it's a little bit dubious. Just for there's one part of the story I didn't mention. So the guy that was ransoming her for the pictures, she said she believes the guy was a teenager, and that when she found out the guy was a teenager, she asked the FBI not to look into him, and that she's not going to pursue this, and in her own words, I should get a clip of this, is that this guy is just a dumb kid, and she doesn't want to mess up his life by getting the FBI on him. These are her exact words. So now everyone's like, so I don't want to like mix the two. Her personal information being stolen is wrong.
It is, yeah.
But I'm looking at this separately. People are looking at this like, if you look at it from, a Disney girl who says she's being ransomed for her pictures, then leaks them herself, then says, makes this song and dance about how she was, this was before Whoopi, by the way. She made a big episode about how, someone intruded her privacy, but then she doesn't want to ruin this kid's life. And the book's coming out, hey, I want to say this, yeah? In today's climate, yeah? In the turn, this guy, Jesse Smollett, more or less orchestrated a hate crime. That's what I believe. It isn't past the realm of possibilities that she orchestrated this whole thing. So I can't sit here and say to you, I don't feel like it's a possibility she didn't orchestrate the whole thing. Because she just was letting it off completely. And the way she even said it, that this is just a dumb kid. He might ruin his life. I'm not even going to. So you leak your pictures. I don't know. To me, I'm at a loss. The Whoopi thing's separate, but her leaking her nudes to get power back, that's fine. But then saying I'm not going to prosecute this guy or chase this guy up, and he's just a dumb kid. I'm not going to ruin his life. But I thought he ruined your life. It's just really weird. It's like, it's just, I don't know. So I'm sorry I didn't tell you that last part there, but there's.
You didn't think this is some kind of vital information that I might like to have?
Well, I don't want that to cloud the fact that what Whoopi Goldberg said is separate from that anyway. You can kind of separate the two.
100%.
You can separate the two anyways.
Definitely different. But now that I hear that, yeah, it looks like if it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, most people aren't that clever to make something up that isn't too much obvious. That being said, I mean, like, I don't understand. Like, this guy was going to leak your shit, so you leaked it for yourself. And the way you're reacting, like, at least when somebody criticizes your foolishness about how you secured that, is pretty pity me. I mean, and you have a book coming out, by the way. You're right. It's like you're lining up too many things that are like, this is probably faked.
I know a lot of the female listeners right now probably like, believe all women's fine, believe all women, but it's just
no. Whoa. Okay, so because you brought that up, let me say something. All right.
Okay, go on.
I want this to be clear. Like, throughout my life, the little bit I've asked, or women have shared with me, almost all of them have been like sexually assaulted or pressured into sex. Okay, right. Very uncomfortable stuff. To me, rape is one of the most heinous of crimes because you're physically invading somebody's personal space, their being. So it's like a super negative thing to me. Because this exists as a possibility doesn't mean when somebody says, oh, this happened to me, you should just believe them. That should never be the case for anything, this or anything, not just this, anything. You should never just be like, oh, okay, they said it, therefore it must be true. I'm going to take the. No, dude, like, we have a court system that argues this shit for a reason, because it's a very serious thing to accuse somebody of that shit. That being said, like, when somebody comes forth and, they say that stuff, also don't turn around and just like, immediately your default setting is I don't believe them. Like, fucking be open to the possibility that it is true. Be empathetic in case it is. Like, it didn't happen to you either way. So just go in there neutral. Jesus, like, why do you have to just automatically, oh, they said this, I have to believe them because woman, or no, women are money grabbing, or whatever the fuck kind of stereotypes people perpetuate on them. Therefore, she's just going after this guy because she wants his money. No, it's just like, dude, did this happen to you? No. Okay, just fucking don't make up your mind so fast.
She can say, this is where I get a little bit high and mighty. She can say that she was trying to prevent a young man from ruining his life because this was just some young 17-year-old hacker. But the thing is, it makes her look bad because now we'll never know. If the FBI investigated this guy and they found out, people would believe her that, and on top of that, if this guy's going around hacking people's phones and ruining their lives, even if it's a teenager, this is someone you should really put behind bars so he can learn the lesson and re-educate himself. So getting rid of him or re-educating him through the system, or not just him saying, I'm sorry, or I made a mistake. I mean, come on, man. It's a really bad troll.
When she turned around, she leaked her stuff before you could. Did you turn around and apologize to her for that, for making that happen? If the answer is yes, what the fuck are you doing to begin with? If the answer is no, I mean, I guess her intent, quote unquote, is pure, but it didn't accomplish anything. He's just gonna go do it again, isn't he? So it's like I don't understand where is she coming from with this shit?
Hey man, I don't know. I just heard the story and I'm just like, I want to. In this day and age, so many of these things happen now with these weird crimes that are not crimes, and you don't know that the Justice Smollett thing. It's like, and if you don't pick a side, if you don't believe them because of their race or their gender, you're picking sides, and you can't just look at the facts. You know, it's just weird. So when I heard this whole story, I was just like, you know what? It's just too much headspace. It's just too much headache. I pick a side. I've tried to be objective. I'm a chauvinist. I don't believe women. But then if she's proven to be a liar, and I never gave her the benefit of the doubt, I'm still an arsehole. It's kind of weird, but I don't really care enough because this shit, humans, whatever gender you are, humans are weird. Whether it's the girl letting the guy off, even though the guy did something really bad to her, according to her, or the guy hacking her, and Whoopi Goldberg, you know, they're all accountable for different things. It's just weird.
Please leave another message at voiceofmail.com.